Hello and welcome. In this video we are going to track the real-time movement of over 400 cryptocurrencies with Python. As requested by a lot of you, we are doing the whole data storage in the simplest way possible, namely in a CSV file. So we are first pulling the live prices for all traded cryptocurrencies on Binance via the WebSocket API. Then doing some data transformations, and finally we are storing the live flowing data into a CSV file. Meaning, whenever we are getting new prices, the CSV file will be updated. So basically every single second. We are then taking another script and access the data in the CSV file to do some data analysis, e.g. with the objective to find the coins which are currently rising or falling. With that, you have a live overview of what is currently happening in the whole crypto market, which is impossible to have due to the amount of coins trading. So this video is going to be extremely interesting and I recommend to watch it all the way through. Just in case I don't publish any other video this year, I already wish you a happy new year. And of course, I thank you for this year and I'm looking forward to the upcoming year with you together. So again, thank you very much. Important disclaimer, concepts shown in this video are not an investment advice. Video is for educational and informational purposes only. Alright, let's get started with the first script taking care of data pulling from the API, data transformations, and also live updating the CSV file. We need some libraries, WebSocket to interact with the Binance WebSocket API, JSON to transform a JSON object to a Python dictionary, pandas for data handling in general, and we also need the Binance client from the Python Binance library to extract all symbols traded on Binance. So from Binance client, import client. So be sure to install the Python Binance library to be able to use this library. I'm also instantiating the client here, and then I'm using it to extract all symbol names. So I'm creating a variable here, just a placeholder variable dict. Use client get exchange info to get in-depth information on the Binance exchange. This is a very large dictionary containing a lot of information which we actually don't need for this video or video series. The only chapter interesting for us is the symbols chapters, as this chapter is containing all tradable symbols on Binance. So this is looking like this, but you see still there's a lot of, for us at the moment, irrelevant information, as you see here. So what I'm going to do is to loop over this dictionary here and extract only the symbol names. So I'm accessing the symbol in this symbols dictionary, or to be more clear here in this current list. So how can we do that? Well, you can use the loop here, or you can just use the list comparison as I'm doing here. So I'm looping again over this and extract all the symbol names to filter out all the stuff I don't need for now. So pretty straightforward. I'm just taking I symbol to exactly get this value here for I in dict symbols. With that, let's execute that. You see that I'm getting all symbols traded on Binance. What you also see here is that I'm getting all pairs here, right? So I'm getting ETH to BTC, LTC to BTC, and so on. I'm only interested in the cryptocurrencies in relation to the stablecoin US dollar Theta representing the US dollar. So I'm going to filter this for only those symbols ending with US dollar Theta to get rid of all the pairs. So I have only the coins in relation to the US dollar or the stablecoin equivalent. Simply doable with a conditional statement here. So I'm just taking if I symbol ends with USDT. So with that, you see I'm only getting the symbols in relation to the US dollar or US dollar Theta here. So let's store that somewhere, just calling that sim. And with that, I have a list of my symbols. So let's actually check how many we got. So we have 475 symbols. Now, to be fair, there are some symbols in here which you can filter out. For instance, leverage tokens. So these are tokens you trade with a certain amount of leverage here. So those tokens are called, for instance, BTC up USDT. So you can filter them out. I'm not doing that here, but just if you want to do some further filterings here. You can also filter out all the Forex coin equivalents. They are also included here. But for now, we have 475 symbols, which we are going to analyze real time. So it's going to be exciting. But next, we need to do some manipulations to this list here. Why? We are using those symbols to provide them to the WebSocket API on the Binance side to tell the WebSocket API, hey, give us a live stream for all these symbols. Now we need to provide what stream on Binance we want to have. So it's not enough to pass BTC USDT. You have to subscribe to a certain kind of stream. And I'm taking the 1 minute candlestick stream here. So I need to do some manipulations to this list. Namely, I need to have this in lowercase letter, and that's straightforward. You can just use a string method lower here. And I need to add the candlestick stream name. So this is looking for the Bitcoin USDT. This will look like this. So Bitcoin USDT at Kline 1 minute. So this is how the string needs to be. So I'm just doing that with a list comprehension again. So I'm looping over this list and do the necessary manipulations here, which are very straightforward. Let's get rid of that for now. So I'm just reassigning the list and say I.lower to get lowercase letters here, plus simply this string. I'm just adding that here for I in sim. Straightforward. With that, you're getting the list as you want to have it. That's not all. The API doesn't take lists. It only takes strings. So we have to merge this list into one single string. And the API needs the string separated. So the streams you are subscribing to separated with slashes. So this one here. Now, there's a very handy Python function to achieve exactly that, and that is the join function. So you can just take /join on this list, and with that you are merging this list into a string separated by slashes. So all the elements in this list are getting joined, adding a slash here. Very handy and very useful function. So you see, if I'm executing that, you see that I'm getting a single string here separated with slashes. And that is exactly what the API needs. So we have our symbols where we want to subscribe to as a single string here. So we are nearly done here. So I'm just storing that in a variable and calling that relevant, as these are the relevant symbols we want to pull. You can use a better naming here if you want. I'm just calling it relevant. And now we just need to establish a WebSocket live stream to the Binance WebSocket server. And I'm just copy pasting from the WebSocket library documentation. So I'm just defining the message as I need to. So I'm just using that on message, provide WS. We will define that in some seconds, and message. And then within this message, we are going to define a JSON message and use JSON loads on that message to transform the incoming message into a Python dictionary. Now, just to show you how this is looking like, I'm printing that out here. And that's already for this function. So basically the logic here is simply when I'm getting a message from the server, execute this function. So when I'm getting a tick from the server, so a candlestick tick, this is being executed, so it's simply printing out whatever it's receiving. Next, we need to define this here, this WS. So this is the WebSocket part. Now, this WS needs a URL, so you can subscribe to a certain stream or multiple streams. And this URL needs to include all those symbols we define in relevant. So the base URL you can find in the Binance API documentation, I will link it below, is simply, I'm going to copy paste that here, is simply this one. And then you need to define the streams you wanna subscribe to. And I'm simply adding our relevant string here, as this is containing everything we need, / separated as the API needs it. So this is the URL. And then we are finally defining this WS WebSocket using WebSocket app. This just copy paste from the documentation, then provide the URL here. So our K-line stream for all of those 475 symbols. And then we define what is happening here. So on message, we want to call the onMessage function. So if we're getting a message from the server, this is being executed, which is simply printing out the message we are getting. And then we're also saying, okay, run this WebSocket stream forever. And once I'm executing that, I will get all those 475 symbols live stream. So you will see a lot of flowing in data here once I'm executing that. So I'm doing that now. And now you see I'm getting a ton of flowing in data for all those symbols I have subscribed to. So this is getting a lot of output. I cannot even scroll through that because it's going to come in every second. You're getting those ticks you see at the right bottom here, this live updating price. You're getting this in this format here as well. So this is going to be a huge output very soon. So I'm just interrupting this part of code for now. But we have basically achieved what we wanted to get. So getting live prices for all those 475 symbols. Now we are getting to the, let's say, more tricky part, and that is making use of this flowing in data, because currently we are just seeing that it's happening, right? It's going to be printed out, but we want to use this data. So we need to extract information we need. And to get a better understanding here, I'm going to show you what we need. So you see, this is flowing in. This dictionary is flowing in for all symbols, right? So we need this, which is E in the data part, to get the event timestamp, which is currently in a Unix timestamp, which is not human readable. So we are going to transform that to a human readable timestamp. That is just when exactly we were receiving a certain price. And as we only want to have the live price, I'm only interested in the close. So in this specific case, it's a bit tricky. You might say, okay, if I'm getting a 1 minute candle, I'm only getting the close of a 1 minute candle, but that is not the case because you are getting intra-candle ticks here. So the close price here is not the actual close of this 1 minute candle, but the intra-day close. Not intraday, sorry, the intra-candle close. All right, so this is the close price of this symbol on this timestamp. So for Bitcoin, you will see exactly this price you see in the right upper corner here, live updating, flowing in here. Now, we only need those information basically. We need a timestamp, we need a symbol, and we need a price. This is the relevant data we need. And to extract those information, I'm going to set up a function. And this function I'm going to call within this onMessage function to only get the relevant information I need. So let's do that together. Let's create a function here, just calling that data. Yeah, well, let's call that manipulation. Manipulate, as we're manipulating the incoming data here. And this is taking the incoming data as an argument, which is in dictionary form, as you saw below here. Now, first, we want to have this part here. So you see there is a dictionary inside this dictionary, data. So we need to extract the data dictionary, as this data dictionary contains for us relevant information, which is the event timestamp, so when this price was happening. And you also see that within this dictionary, you have another one, which is K. So for the K-line relevant information, so the candlestick relevant information. For instance, when does this candle open, on which timestamp, when does this candle close, what symbol is this on, what interval is this on, and so on. And for us, relevant again is this C, which is the close price. So first, I'm going to extract the K dictionary here. So I'm going to use value dictionary, just calling that value D, use data, and then data again. So I'm going to show you where I am right now. So I'm going to extract from this one, which is a data tick. Then I'm extracting data, getting on this level of dictionary here. And then you see there's the next one, K. Then I'm extracting the K-line relevant information. So I'm just using data and then K and get all those relevant information on the K-line. Next, I need the price and also the symbol name. So the price is, as said, this C value. So I'm going to define prices, or price and symbol. And for the price, I'm just using the value dictionary, which is the K-line values. So I can take value D, and then I'm extracting the C value. So again, this is, for instance, here, the price, the current price on this event timestamp for whatever that coin is or N. So with that, I have my price, my live price. And then I need my symbol. And this is the same logic. I'm just extracting from this value dictionary, which I defined, which is containing the K values. I'm just extracting the S value to get the symbol name. So I'm going to take value dictionary and then S. So with that, I have my live price and my symbol name. Next, I need my event time. I'm going to call that event time. And this again is data, and then it is E. So it is on this level of the dictionary. It's not in this level, it's on this level. So the event timestamp. When did this price happen? So I'm just taking data, and then E. With that, I would get a Unix formatted timestamp. So let's do the transformation to a human readable timestamp right now. So I'm going to use pandas to datetime function on that, provide this in a list, and then define the unit as MS. So with that, I'm transforming the Unix timestamp into a human readable timestamp. So I have my price, my symbol, and my event time, all the information I need. So last but not least, I'm creating a data frame out of those information. So using pandas data frame and provide price and symbol, and then set the index to the event time. I recommend, so I've done something very similar in previous videos, so I'm not doing it step by step and showing you what is happening here. So I explained where I got this from, but I will link some videos where I'm doing it step by step, what is happening in every single step here below. But I recommend for you to just do it yourself. So understand what is happening here. So take a single data tick here. So store a single data tick somewhere and check what are those lines exactly doing to those single data ticks to get a better understanding here. So this is our manipulation function. Now, if I'm integrating this into my function, so I'm directly accessing manipulate on the JSON message and store that somewhere. Let's call that df underscore and print it out. You will see when I'm executing that I'm getting I'm getting better information here because they are not containing unnecessary information, right? So I'm just getting my timestamp, human readable, then the symbol name and the price, right? And this is flowing in, a ton of data again flowing in here. So you see you're getting even more granular than every single second you are getting data for all those 475 symbols printed out here. So the next step is simply to store these lines in a CSV file. So let's interrupt this stream once again and just add a single line here, which is doing that for us. And that is simply df underscore to CSV, and then give it a name. So I'm just calling that coin prices .csv. Very important, define the mode as append. So you want to have a data tick. Let's say you have Bitcoin price for a certain timestamp, and then a second later you're getting a new Bitcoin price. So you want to append it to that file and not replace the other line, because you want to know what is happening now, but also what was happening the seconds before to just see how much a certain coin was rising or falling in a certain look back period. So this is very important. Use the append mode here. Also define the header as false, so you are not getting any headers attached to the CSV. You just want to have a plain CSV containing those lines. So timestamp, price, and symbol name. You don't want to have any headers here. That's already it to live creating the CSV file. So when you execute this, just be aware that this coin prices CSV is going to be very, very large in a quite low amount of time here. So if I'm executing that, I'm generating a coin prices CSV file, and this is going to be live populated with what you just saw here. All right. So if I'm executing that, this file is going to be created. So I did something stupid here. I still printed that out, which is generating an unnecessary input. So let's just execute that again without the print statement. So I'm not getting that much output here. Otherwise my kernel will crash at some point when you have too much output here. So we're just executing that and then getting a CSV file which is being live populated. And now we are jumping over to the second script, which is extracting the live data from that CSV file. And this is going to be extremely interesting. So let's just switch over to my next file here. For this one, we simply only need pandas for now to read out the CSV file. And then let's call that df and then read CSV, coin prices .csv. And we also provide that we don't want to have any headers here. So whenever you are executing that, and I'm showing that live to you, so we have 3.3k rows in this. So since like 2 minutes or not even 2 minutes. And whenever I'm executing this line newly, whenever I'm reading this CSV, because it's live filling, I will get more rows. So 3.3 now, executed that again, 4.4 now. So if I'm executing that again, 4.7 now. So you see, this is going to be filling up very fast here, right? And you see the structure here. We have a timestamp, a price, and a symbol, right? So you can do some manipulations to that data frame. You can just name the columns as they are. So timestamp, TS, price, and coin name or coin. So then you have it like this here, all right? So if you want to have a live update, you pull it newly. So now we already get 6.8K rows. Now let's get to the analysis part here. So if you want to have certain information on a certain coin, you would just extract only the rows for that coin, right? So if I want to have the Bitcoin information, I could just create a variable here, BTC, and then take df where my coin name is BTC USDT. So I only see the Bitcoin values here, all right? So I would be a bit cautious here with the structure. I would always order this data frame by the timestamp, even though it's very unlikely that this timestamp is not sorted. So you already see it sorted, right? Which makes sense because every new time tick is going to be appended to this data frame. But just to be very sure, I would sort this data frame before your analysis by the timestamp here. So BTC, sort values, then by the timestamp. Now next, you could, for instance, set the index of that data frame to the timestamp values. So this is just standard practice. So time series has a timestamp as the index here. So you have a timestamp and then the price. So you can get rid of the coin name if you want to. And with that you could, for instance, extract the price column here and plot it. And then you quite nicely see the live developing Bitcoin price from the point on you pulled the data here, right? So of course, there's a lot more things you can do here, right? You can only pull the prices from the, let's say, last 1 minute, last 2 minutes. So with that, you're just indexing for the last row and then say, okay, I only want to go 2 minutes back. I'm not covering that in this video, but just some food for thought here. But next, I want to do something very interesting, and that is getting the return of a certain coin and then compare all 475 coins and see what are actually the hot coins in this moment. So we need a function to do that. You can also code that from scratch. I'm doing that in a function here. So let's get rid of that for now. And let's name that get return for a certain coin. So I'm creating a coin frame here with the exact same logic as here. So df where coin is, let's say, is coin. So just the provided coin here. And then I'm sorting the values just to be sure. So I'm doing what I just did here. So coin frame sort values, coin frame sort values by timestamp, and then set the index of that to the timestamp column here. So coin frame, set index to that timestamp column, and then I just want to calculate my return. So let me quickly show you how this is working. So if I'm calling that for, let's say, Bitcoin USDT, you will see that I'm just getting the Bitcoin values. If I'm calling that for ETH, I'm getting the ETH values. If I'm calling that for whatever coin, I don't know what's a fancy coin right now. Let's just quickly check. So Bake or whatsoever, or Solana or whatsoever. No, it's actually dropping. But anyhow, let's check it. So Sol USDT, you're getting the Sol values and so on. You get the point here, right? So to get the return since the point you were pulling this data, you just divide the most recent price by the first price, right? Again, you can do a way more dedicated approach here, and just let me know if you want to have that. You can only have the last 1 minute return. So you just take this value and then subtract 1 minute from this value and then only take the data 1 minute back from this value, right? I'm just doing the simplest way here. I'm just taking this value, divided by the first value, and then I have the return since I started this stream, right? But as said, I recommend to do some more flexible approaches here so that you can pick 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, and so on, whatever you're interested in, maybe 10 seconds even. So I'm just taking the last available price divided by the first available price. Simple as that. So return, coin frame, price, last price, so just my indexing for the last row, divided by the first price. So coin frame, price, the first available row, then -1 to have the raw return here. So if I'm doing that, for instance, for Solana was rising by 0.2% over the last whatever minutes that was. And now let's do the interesting thing. Let's check all of those coins. So to get all of those coins, you extract the coin names in this data frame. So these coin names, and you just take a look at the unique coin names to get all the coins you have inside your CSV file, right? So you're just getting the unique coin names, and you can loop over that and call your get return function. That's the simple approach here. So we are looping over those coin names, call this function, and then we have our returns, and we can check for those returns and see what are the current hot coins here. So let's store that in a list, reds. Then we pull the most recent data here. So I'm just going to copy paste this one again here. So df read CSV, then also columns here. So we have actualized data here, or refreshed data, and then just for coin in df coin unique. So we're just looping over the unique coin names, reds append, and then call this function get return on the coin name. So get return on coin. So if I'm executing that, very fast loop here, directly done. So we can use the reds, and then we have all the returns for all the coins, and we know that the first iteration is assigned to the first unique name here, so we can merge the stored returns and the coin names by simply creating a series, panda series, on reds, and then define the index as df coin unique. So you've mapped the return to the coin name. And then you have this series, just calling that series for now, for returns. And you can do some stuff like checking the 5 largest values here. So we see that this coin over the last a few minutes, SCRT whatsoever, was rising by 2%. So let's actually take a look at Binance here. SCRT USDT. This was rallying a lot over the last minutes here, right? So with that, you can see something like that. And this is what I just told you, right? This is a leverage token. So I would maybe filter them out here. Then we have Cake, was rising by 1.7 over the last seconds here, or minutes, and you see this development here, right? And so on. You can of course also do that for the smallest values. See WRX minus 10%. That's insane, yeah, over the last minutes here, right? So minus 10%. You see this drop, right? And with that, that's like a lot of information you can get here on the market, right? You can basically track the whole Binance market using these quite simple steps. And I mean, the sky's the limit here, right? You can build a dashboard out of it. You can build a bot out of it. There's a lot of stuff. If you're interested in that, let me know below. I think this is a good starting point to do some analysis here. And I hope this video was interesting. You liked it. And if you did, I am thankful for your comment and your feedback. And I thank you very much for watching and looking forward to see you in the upcoming videos. Bye bye.